Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well today. I just want to do a very quick, brief video about some of our riders for today, and then just maybe clarify a few things that you may be wondering as you are continuing to work on this course. Um, I did turn in the LDAs for everyone before like Sunday night, I think. If you have done any work since then for the first time, then do let me know. Like if you didn't do any work and got a notification that you weren't attending, do let me know once you have turned in work. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, then I assume that you've done everything that you need to do there. But do check with me if for some instance that you got a message that you were not attending the class. Um, Other questions I've had from some of you is about the discussion post. Again, you don't have to make a post about every work, just a select few. You can pick whichever ones you want to write about. Discussion number one is due tonight, Tuesday, the 23rd. As I'm talking, you've still got a few hours to post that. And it can be about any of the works that you've read, any of the works that have been assigned that you've read. It can be about those. So the first post has to be done by tonight. The second one is due on the 24th, which is tomorrow. You'll need to have one post done by tonight, a second one done by tomorrow evening. And then the third one is due on September 30th. So do be keeping up with that. Do your discussion post. You don't have to, again, post about every single work, though. Um, Also, regarding our writers today, you had Mark Twain, Bret Harte, and Ambrose Bierce. I will be posting a PowerPoint of notes on them here in just a little bit. They're all Western writers, and I did include a link to a video that I think is very informative, has a scholar who has written about the San Francisco literary scene that I think you will find quite informative. So check out that video. I think it probably will detail a lot about these writers more so than I'm qualified to do. It's an expert on the San Francisco literary scene. So you check that video out, and you'll learn a lot about Twain, Bierce, and Hart. Um, Twain, of course, the first literary celebrity of America. We could talk all day about Twain. I'm currently reading the biography that just came out about Twain. Very interesting character. This story, actually, Twain wasn't a huge fan of. He didn't really like it, but it's what caused him to be a literary sensation. It is what made him famous. The Notorious Jumping Frog. I've heard it. Other titles it's been under has been the Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County. But this was a story that he had overheard when he was out west. He wrote a couple of different times. Didn't feel like he'd quite gotten the story that had been told to him by a storyteller, so he invented the character of Simon Wheeler, and the dry storyteller who's not very humorous to kind of make the character of the storyteller a strong part of that story. But it is a story that made him quite famous. Bret Harte was also a famous writer of his day, writing about a lot of Western characters who kind of became, in many cases, Western tropes. This is probably his most famous story, along with The Outcast of Poker Flat. He was a big sensation out west before Twain even became famous. But when he goes east, unlike Twain, he does not have the same success. The two of them were quite friendly at one point, but then Twain is a bit critical of Hart's work as Hart's work kind of becomes what it no longer is holding the same value that it once did. But Hart was quite celebrated in the West and a highly regarded literary figure out west. And just when he came east, he was not the same figure. But he wrote a lot of stories about Western characters who became kind of the forerunners of a lot of the Westerns we would see in the 20th centuries on television and in movies. In fact, Ronald Reagan plays one of his characters in a movie version of one of his short stories called Tennessee's Partner. Um, the third writer is probably my favorite of the three, Ambrose Bierce, just because he is mysterious. We don't know what happened to him. He kind of probably was murdered. He was trying to find Pancho Villa, interview Pancho Villa, probably got killed at some point. But Bierce wrote a lot of kind of gothic tales to a certain extent. There's like often a twist to them. As you're reading The Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge, do know that our narrator is kind of making fun of Peyton Farquhar to a certain extent, or at least kind of demean him a little bit. Ambrose fought on the Union side. He is writing about a Confederate sympathizer. So there is some kind of mockery of Peyton Farquhar in that story as you read it. He's mocking him a bit. He's painting this figure as, this is a guy who found a way out of serving. Didn't he acted like he wanted to serve the Confederacy, didn't, but found a way not to have to do it. And then when a opportunity is presented to him, he's kind of entrapped by a Union soldier, but he thinks that he can help the Confederacy, and it leads to his demise. And we kind of have a twist there with the whole telling of the story. So those are your authors for today. Just wanted to get on here and speak to you a little bit about them. Tomorrow we will be begin to read Kate Chopin's work. She is one of Kate Chopin's The Awakening is one of two novels we will read in this class. So again, if you have any questions, send me an email. But just be working on your discussion post. And then at the end of the week, you got some quizzes that are due as well on Thursday. So uh, have a good rest of your day, and I'll try to get back on here tomorrow to do another video. Thank you.